This discrepancy is particularly disadvantageous for third parties, whose supporters may be dispersed across many districts without forming a plurality, limiting their political voice. The British Liberal Democrats exemplify the challenges faced by third parties within single-member district systems. Their supporters, often spread across the country, struggle to achieve the concentration necessary to win seats, resulting in significant underrepresentation. This situation illustrates the inherent bias in the electoral system that favors larger, established parties while marginalizing smaller parties, undermining the democratic principle of fair representation and inclusivity. Additionally, the pressure on major parties to appeal to the political center can lead to a homogenization of political discourse. As both dominant parties strive to capture the broadest possible voter base, their platforms may become increasingly similar, resulting in a lack of distinctiveness. This phenomenon can contribute to voter apathy and dissatisfaction, as citizens may feel that their choices do not reflect a true diversity of opinions or policy options. Consequently, this boredom among voters often correlates with lower turnout rates in U.S. elections. As discussed in the previous chapter, European multi-party systems tend to enjoy higher voter turnouts, partly due to the more diverse and interesting array of party options available to voters. This variety engages the electorate, as individuals feel that their preferences can be more accurately represented by the multiplicity of choices. In contrast, single-member districts in systems like that of the United States often limit options, leading to voter apathy and disengagement, as citizens may feel their votes have less impact in a two-party system. France employs a unique variation of the single-member district system, characterized by two rounds of voting in parliamentary elections, which occur every 5 years. In the initial round, any candidate can enter, and while multiple candidates often participate, achieving an outright majority over 50% is rare. If no candidate secures this majority, a second round is held a week later, where only candidates who received at least 12.5% of the votes can compete, and a simple plurality suffices to win. During the second round, strategic alliances often form among political parties. Candidates from weaker parties may withdraw and endorse those from stronger parties who share similar ideologies. For example, center-right Republicans may collaborate with the conservative Gaullists, ensuring that they do not split the conservative vote, thereby preventing a socialist victory. Similarly, on the left, socialists and communists may engage in tactical withdrawals to consolidate their votes, enhancing the chances of their preferred candidates. In presidential elections, which occur every 7 years in France, a similar runoff system applies. The top two candidates compete in a second round held 2 weeks after the first, often making strategic arrangements with parties that did not advance. This structure of single-member districts with runoffs allows for a diverse array of parties to participate in the initial round while still necessitating coalitions in the final voting stage. It effectively balances representation and the need for political alignment, mirroring the dynamics seen in American primary elections. If France were to eliminate the first round of elections and move directly to the second round, the system would likely converge towards a two-party format akin to that of the United States and Britain. However, many French political theorists argue that the historical, social, and ideological complexities of French society require a more nuanced representation that encompasses multiple parties. This perspective reflects the understanding that a diverse political landscape is essential for addressing the intricacies of public opinion and governance. Interestingly, some Eastern European countries have adopted the French-style single-member districts with runoff elections. This approach aims to enhance electoral participation and ensure that elected officials have broader support within their constituencies. By allowing multiple candidates in the first round, these systems provide a platform for diverse political voices while also encouraging strategic voting in the second round, ultimately aiming to create a more representative and functional political environment. Proportional representation PR systems aim to address the shortcomings of single-member district systems by ensuring a more equitable representation of voters' preferences. Unlike single-member districts, which elect only one representative per district, PR operates through multi-member districts. This means that several representatives are elected from a given district, allowing for a broader reflection of the electorate's diverse views. This structure enables smaller parties to gain representation, fostering a more inclusive political environment. In countries like the Netherlands and Israel, the entire nation functions as a single electoral district, facilitating a system where every vote contributes to the overall composition of parliament. In larger countries like Sweden and Spain, districts are defined by counties or provinces, respectively. For example, if a district is allocated 10 parliamentary seats, each political party provides voters with a party list containing 10 candidates. Voters then select one party list, which translates into parliamentary seats based on the percentage of votes received. To illustrate, if a party secures 60% of the votes in a 10-member district, it would be entitled to send the first 6 candidates from its list to Parliament. Conversely, a party that receives 20% of the votes would send its top 2 candidates. This allocation method ensures that representation in Parliament is proportionate to the actual votes received, allowing for a fairer distribution of power and providing smaller parties with the opportunity to participate in governance, which is often absent in single-member systems. While PR systems enhance representation and democratic inclusivity, they also introduce challenges. The presence of multiple parties can lead to fragmented parliaments, complicating the formation of stable governments. In some cases, coalitions become necessary to achieve a majority, which can result in prolonged negotiations and compromise. This situation may lead to governance difficulties if parties have conflicting priorities or ideologies, raising concerns about the effectiveness of decision-making in a highly diversified political landscape. Moreover, PR systems can sometimes lead to voter confusion, as the variety of party lists and candidates may overwhelm voters. Additionally, the complexity of coalition building can obscure accountability, making it difficult for constituents to identify who is responsible for specific policies or decisions. This challenge can lead to disillusionment among voters, especially if coalitions fail to deliver on their promises, or if government instability arises from the continuous need to negotiate between diverse parties. Despite these challenges, proportional representation systems are often celebrated for their ability to reflect a wider range of political opinions and minority voices. They encourage active political engagement among citizens, as every vote carries more weight in determining the overall political landscape. In this way, PR contributes to a more representative democracy, allowing for a vibrant political discourse that can adapt to the evolving needs and desires of the electorate, making it a compelling alternative to single-member district systems. Mathematical problems arise in proportional representation systems, especially when translating vote percentages into parliamentary seats. Rarely do votes split cleanly. For example, if one party receives 42% of the votes in a district with 11 seats, would it receive 4.62 seats? The question of how to allocate fractional representatives creates complications in representation. Several methods exist to address these challenges, with the D'Hondt system being the most common. This formula tends to favor larger parties, often at the expense of smaller ones. In Sweden, the D'Hondt system is employed alongside a unique provision for nationwide representation. Out of the 349 seats in the Riksdag, the Swedish parliament, 310 are filled by direct elections from 28 districts. The remaining 39 seats are distributed to correct discrepancies between the parties' national percentages and their local representations. This mechanism helps ensure that the overall composition of the parliament better reflects the electorate's preferences, addressing some of the mathematical challenges inherent in PR systems. To mitigate the potential proliferation of splinter or extremist parties, many proportional representation systems incorporate threshold clauses. These clauses require parties to achieve a minimum percentage of votes before gaining any seats in the legislature. For instance, Germany and Poland mandate that parties must secure at least 5% of the national vote, while Sweden and Italy have set this threshold at 4%. Such measures aim to prevent a fragmented political landscape by ensuring that only parties with substantial support can enter parliament. The primary advantage of proportional representation is that it allows the legislature to accurately reflect the main currents of public opinion and party strength within a country. Unlike in Anglo-American systems, where parties often gravitate toward the political center to capture a broader voter base, PR systems encourage parties to articulate their ideologies and principles more clearly. This fosters a political environment where diverse perspectives can coexist and be represented, enhancing the richness of democratic discourse. In a PR system, even small segments of the population can have their beliefs represented in the legislature. For example, in Israel, a party can secure a seat with as little as 2% of the vote. This inclusivity allows smaller parties to exist without being forced to merge with larger entities, which can dilute their specific ideologies and viewpoints. As a result, voters have the opportunity to support candidates and parties that align closely with their beliefs, leading to a more nuanced political representation. Overall, proportional representation systems can lead to a healthier democracy by ensuring that minority viewpoints are acknowledged and represented in legislative processes. By allowing parties to maintain their distinct identities and cater to specific constituencies, PR fosters a political landscape that encourages debate and discussion among varied ideologies. This diversity not only enriches the political conversation, but also empowers citizens by providing them with genuine choices that resonate with their values and beliefs. One of the primary disadvantages of proportional representation is its tendency to encourage party splintering. In systems where political views are diverse, small groups can organize as distinct parties and secure seats in parliament. While this allows for a wide array of voices to be heard, it can lead to fragmentation of the political landscape. Although this tendency is diminishing in some countries, 2+ party systems, such as those in Sweden and Spain, have emerged, featuring 1 or 2 large parties alongside a few smaller ones, contributing to relative stability. In contrast, Israel exemplifies the challenges of a highly splintered party system, where as many as 15 parties can be elected to the Knesset. In such cases, if the leading party does not achieve a majority of seats, it must form a coalition with other parties to govern. This coalition building can result in instability, as differing ideologies and priorities among coalition partners may hinder the government's ability to make decisive policy decisions. Consequently, some Israelis advocate for reforms to reduce the number of parties and enhance governmental stability. While it is not accurate to claim that multi-party systems are inherently unstable, the dynamics can change significantly based on party size. In cases where one party is large enough to govern independently, the system can demonstrate considerable stability. However, the Anglo-American systems benefit from an almost automatic majority, which facilitates clearer governance and decision-making. This stability often contrasts sharply with the challenges faced by coalitions in PR systems, where compromise and negotiation are necessary to achieve legislative action. Germany presents an intriguing hybrid electoral system that combines the advantages of both single-member districts and proportional representation. In the German Bundestag, the lower house of parliament, voters utilize a split ballot to cast their votes. Each voter selects an individual candidate to represent their local district, while also voting for a political party to represent their state land. This dual approach ensures that both local representation and proportional party strength are considered in the overall composition of the Bundestag. The strength of a party in the Bundestag is ultimately determined by the second vote, which is cast for a party. This ensures that the distribution of seats in the parliament reflects the overall vote percentages received by each party, maintaining proportional representation while still allowing for individual representation at the district level. This hybrid system effectively balances the need for localized governance with the benefits of broad-based party representation, promoting both stability and inclusivity in the political process. By allowing voters to engage with both a personal choice for local representation and a broader political party, Germany's system fosters a more engaged electorate. This dual voting mechanism encourages parties to remain responsive to both local constituents and national interests, ensuring that the diverse views within the population are reflected in the legislative process. As a result, Germany manages to mitigate some of the pitfalls of pure proportional representation while benefiting from its strengths. In Germany's electoral system, half of the parliamentary seats are reserved for the 328 candidates who win in district contests, while the other half is allocated based on the proportion of votes each party receives. This hybrid system creates a 2+ party dynamic, which contributes to significant governing stability. By combining single-member districts with proportional representation, Germany effectively balances local representation with a broader spectrum of political voices, minimizing the fragmentation often seen in pure PR systems. The design of Germany's split representation system was intentional, stemming from historical lessons learned after World War II. The goal was to avoid a repeat of the weak and unstable Weimar Republic, which had a proportional representation system treating the entire country as one large electoral district. This structure led to numerous splinter parties and frequent government instability, highlighting the importance of carefully crafting electoral systems to ensure effective governance. The modifications made in the post-war era have proven successful in fostering political stability. Throughout the 1990s, several countries, including Russia, Italy, New Zealand, and Japan, adopted hybrid electoral systems inspired by Germany's model, recognizing the benefits of combining single-member districts with proportional representation. This approach has gained popularity as nations seek to enhance political stability and inclusivity in their democratic processes. Germany's electoral system, characterized by its innovative design, has effectively become one of its best export products, influencing electoral reforms globally and shaping how other nations approach governance. The evolution of political institutions over time reflects key moments in a nation's history, when citizens have had the opportunity to choose their governance structures. This element of creativity plays a critical role in politics, as institutions are not arbitrary constructs. Rather, they are deliberately crafted by individuals who possess the ability to design effective or ineffective systems. Several methods exist to address these challenges, with the D'Hondt system being the most common. This formula tends to favor larger parties, often at the expense of smaller ones.